5 and up. We prefer 5 and up, but we're gonna pause on that for a minute. So, like I said, there was a beef, a little subtle secret beef in hip hop once upon a time. You know, there's the MTV TRL interview clip that it came out, which actually let me pull that up while we talk about it because I like to give context to when I'm talking about these things as well too. But there was once upon a time where Nelly said he'll eat them like candy, you know what I'm saying? And when Royce and Eminem and D12 and all those guys were beefing once upon a time, there was a guy named Trey Little, what's up? You know what I'm saying? That was made that reference in the bar when it was dissing them. And if you weren't in the know, a lot of people didn't probably know what they was talking about because this was once upon a time. Like, I don't even remember this happening, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even remember this happening. And he did it on fucking TRL, and it was pretty insane. So let's just play this clip real quick to give you guys a little bit of context, just a little bit.
Well, how do you feel about Eminem? How's your feelings on that?
Well, you know, Dirty, I don't too much know nothing about Dirty, you know what I'm saying? But he be having some sly little comments about me on himself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know me, I don't play with candy, you know what I'm saying? I eat M&Ms, flat out, you know what I'm saying? I don't smash on them like that, you know?
So it's funny because I don't remember this, but once again, I was like 12 when this shit came out, you know what I'm saying? This is a part of the whole Nelly conversation story right now, you know, so we're going to get into the next clip as well too, but I just need to add some context to this. But once again, when I heard this, I was like, because I didn't even understand why dude said Nelly would eat you like candy, and then what did you do? You called him up, but you don't want to talk to Royce, but you can talk to Puff, which is crazy too that you fast forward to the things that Eminem has said about Puff in recent time. But we all know that the phone conversations happen in the background. This isn't the first time where Paul or, you know, there's things where Jimmy is talking to people on whatever other label or whatever other side that's having issues with Eminem, and they're having these conversations. Now, there wasn't much that came out of this, but if you go back and check my Invasions freestyle reaction, which is very old, but I have it in there in the Eminem playlist as well. You can go feel free to check that out if you want. I would post the link in the chat if you wanted, but I can do that another time. But he shot his shot a little bit at Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Like he brought up the Air Force Ones. Won't be able to tell if it's 2 pairs or it's 1. It's gonna feel like so many feet kicking. You think Nike gonna put decent cleats in the shoes or something like that? I don't know what it is or what it could be, but I get it. Woody, when these pussies try to pussy thinking they gonna put me in this position to pickle me. Y'all pickle me pink. I think I just rather have pink tickle me. It's not like that. But he basically got Nelly's ass on that one, and he did another one as well too. But I just can't remember what that was. But Nelly has also had his fair share of beef, low key. You know what I'm saying? Like with legends. You know, he's beef with KRS-One, and he dissed him on the Rock the Mic remix too. I think it was like one. No one heard even said your name R. And then he said he was so old that he needs a rapper's pension. So Nelly's had his fair share of battles. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of people know him from Sweatsuit and like Hot in Here and all of that. But no, Nelly did his thing. But I'm gonna get back to this real quick. I didn't see if this finishes up.
So,
official drama on TRL.
Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think Duke planned on coming to tour to St. Louis. That's all. He just limited himself. But it's all great.
That check-in talks, which is funny too, the check-in talks, which is very true. Like, as much as Eminem with diss dudes now, obviously he had Trick in his corner and everything too. But the streets have their politics as well too. And once upon a time, this was a time where rap was considered hard and you really couldn't do certain things. Now, Nelly probably had some things, and I don't know if you can check the receipts and shit. I don't know if Eminem was really in St. Louis at the time, and there was like subtle issues between the Lunatics and D12, which I'm not too privy on, but as I dug into this, it's what I've learned a little bit along the way. So,
but I ain't trying to get too intricate
it's the
into
verse.
I'm just trying to give you a little.
Yep, but I'm not trying to get too intricate into it. Yeah, we're going to play because like he raps
but
that
I ain't
shit.
trying to get too intricate into it. I'm just trying to give you a little hint for your own benefit. Cause then it's gonna get to the point where it escalates into some other shit. And I'ma flip, then I'ma get to stomping in my Air Force Ones. Won't be able to tell if it's 2 pairs or it's 1. It's just gonna feel like so many feet kicking you. You think Nike just made these in the cleats in the shoe.
Well, how do you feel about Eminem?
So there goes the verse right there. That means that's the verse. And that was the Invasion freestyles, I think, too, where he also a lot of people missed the Royce diss because it wasn't a diss, but he threw the shot being like, I'm talking to you, Royce. You know what I'm saying? The rhinestones feel so nice in my do-rag or so bright. You know, some shit like that. Like, that was, if you knew what Royce was doing back then, he was wearing the rhinestone do-rag. So he was coming at Royce back then, you know what I'm saying? And I think he mentioned the Roy Jones shit as well, too. So I would have loved to see that battle, especially back then, because both of their pens have gotten so much better over time. But at that point in time, though, I don't think Royce would have been fucking with M. But actually, no, because Bad Meets Evil was around the same time, so that would have been kind of spooky. You know what I'm saying? That would have been kind of spooky. But that was that clip right there for that. Now I want to get on what we got in 2025 with them talking about it, because it was always a misunderstanding, but M was throwing the shots in certain songs, because once again, Eminem always came at the pop rappers, and it's crazy too, because at this time too, they always, it's funny that you mentioned this, Elena, like, the only ones like that was selling was M, Pimp, Juice, and Us, which is Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So Nelly was always that dude. It's just that he was a specific type of rapper that made music. He made good music, so you don't look at Nelly as a battle rapper or anything like that. And on top of that, though, I never really banged with Nelly when I heard the battle raps at times, but I liked all his songs that he came out, because Nelly was a great artist and a great, great hip-hop rap artist. Like, I just didn't really see the whole... I didn't see him as a battle rapper or anything that would be like, oh, if there was a battle that was to happen, like, he would do that. Because even when he dissed KRS-One on the joint, I'm like, that's when I know rap's taking a turn, because he didn't really diss him, but he did do his spelling them out in the song with the K, R, no one heard him say, like, it was cool, but, so we're going to follow up with this with Nelly talking about beefing with Eminem. So if you know, if you don't, hit the button below. We in the live right now. We're all over the place today. We throwback mess. It's Throwback Thursday. We talking about current shit, old shit, in the middle shit, all sorts of shit. But here we go. Nelly talking about beefing with Eminem over a misunderstanding, which I'm amped to hear, because we've never really heard anything past that. Nelly said they eat him like candy,
I remember
Elena.
the line, the only dudes moving units is M, Pimp, Juice, and Us.
Yeah, hey, yo. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Remember what I said. The only dudes moving units is M, Pimp, Juice, and Us, which is Jay-Z. And this is why I be talking how I'm talking. And this is why there's going to be conversations with Bito. This is exactly why we're going to have conversations with Bito's podcast. You know what I mean? Like, this is why it's happening. Because I know I say the same thing that these dudes that have a platform and, bigger connections and all this other stuff, I say the same things. I had the same conversations. Why not share my input? Why not share my knowledge? Why not have a conversation over here, right? You feel me? So right back to it. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Did you and Eminem have any? Because there was a certain point in time where
miscommunication.
But you and Eminem were like
But don't get me wrong though. As much as we talk about rapping, Nelly's the type of dude that would bust Eminem's ass though if we was talking about some beef and shit, some fighting shit. Like, Nelly would bust his ass though. Like, that's the one thing I'm always like, because Nelly do be punching dudes in the mouth. So,
like, biggest selling artist in the world, very different, obviously. But like, did you guys ever have any sort of conversation then?
Well, this was the thing. I misinterpreted something when I was really, really new, and I wanted to apologize to him, you know what I mean? But I was at a time where, I'm coming in, I'm the new guy, anybody talking, from the Lou.
What was it that you misunderstood?
Well, somehow I misinterpreted that he had something to say about what
we were doing.
Yeah. And when I went on MTV, I made some comments because, I'm still fresh. I'm
I'm over here playing around because one of the headphones died and shit. So excuse the brother for a second. During these technical difficulties and shit. But y'all learning something new today, huh? Y'all learning that there was a little hip hop feud that was going on and shit that was very secretive. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't through the hip hop circuits like that. At least from the shit that I was following, I was all up in the Source magazines, the Vibe magazines. Like, I was all up in these magazines. And this was not mentioned, but if you listen to the music, you knew that there was something that was going on. But I don't think you really heard much from the Saint Lunatic side, because once again, Saint Lunatics versus D12, that's a clean wash, obviously. And then when you want to talk Nelly versus Eminem, that's a clear wash as well too. So
it's up. And
Yeah.
he's like, where you at? But that wasn't the case, man. And he's a GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Another
he's
guy
so
says
dope.
M's the GOAT. Another one.
And when that was going on, I forgot who we was in Detroit, and we were at an after party, and somebody came and was like, "Yo, M wanna come through and holler," and I'm like, "Okay," you know. And when he came, man, and he's such a dope cat. I think he had I think he had Haley with him.
Yeah, his daughter.
She was young.
She probably loves you.
Oh,
you're on TRL every day.
That's what he was
say
like. He was
Nelly.
like, "Yo, man,
my daughter loves you, man."
I felt like a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I felt, it's just like, yo, I felt like a dick, man. And because we were Eminem fans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was, and just miscommunication, man. And M he's a dope cat, man. He's a dope cat, and I'm glad we got that out the way.
I'm so glad that another guy can just officially say that M's just, if not the GOAT, one of the GOATs. Like, this whole, like, I want to say it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when people were just trying to have the smut Eminem's, like, actual accolades and what he is as a hip-hop artist and what he's done to hip-hop thing, like, campaign was happening. I just hated that. Cause I'm just like, yo, like, y'all don't appreciate hip-hop then if that's the case. Because the guy who, like, out of all hip-hop artists, like, to be great and be a white rapper, to show the homage that he's showing, like, you have to still respect that. And for certain artists or certain people to just be like, nah, I don't fuck with Eminem because of X, Y, and Z, which has nothing to do with music. I'm just like, that's crazy, because he's one of the not only artists, but he's one of the few artists that respect the game, especially as a quote unquote outsider in what the conversations are today, which is the guest in hip hop. You know, of all the guests that be in hip hop, he's definitely one of the ones that show the utmost respect to hip hop. Now, I blame Lord Jamar for that guest in hip hop conversation, to be honest, because he was heard about whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, with Eminem, which I never respected, but it was what it was. But I'm glad to hear that they had this little conversation, though.
Way, because you know,
I mean, it was a sales rivalry going.
Yeah, but it's fucked up when you people that you fuck with and that you admire on a level. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, dude spits.
Yeah.
You know, and I appreciate all factors of hip hop. I appreciate the battle rap,
of course,
because St. Louis is huge for battle rap. Shout out to Hitman Holla, and Verb.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of the battle rappers that come up out of there, and you know, we appreciate that side, and we got hit makers as well and things like that. So, yeah, man, yeah, I'm glad we squashed that, man, because M is a cat.
He's one of them guys.
He's one of them dudes. Nelly's like, you know, I'm glad we squashed it out, because I heard the shit that he was saying when it came to the rapping, and I don't think I would have been able to, you know, I don't know what it is or what it could be, but I get a Woody when these pussies try to put me in a position to pickle me. Y'all tickle me pink. I think I'll just rather have pink tickle me. Tickety, tickety, ta, tickety, ta, tickety. A little bit of that tickety, talk. Like, he was, yo, what it is now. He wasn't fucking with that, bro. Like, I'm a sucker for pedicures and manicure toes. Like, he wasn't fucking with what I just did before. Like, he wasn't doing that, My man was not doing that at all. So I'm glad that, you know, M didn't have to ruin another rapper's career. I'm glad that they had a behind the scenes thing where they squashed. I want to know what was said, though. I want to know if those tracks came out before or after, but like, I feel like it was after when Nelly said what he said. So what had happened before? And I listened to a lot of M, and I'm like, what did I miss, or what was it? What song was it that made Nelly be like, I don't know what Dirty talking about and shit, but you know, Dirty gonna have a whole nother issue if you want to come to St. Louis. Like, good luck performing in St. Louis. So I don't know, but I'm glad to hear that he had something to say about that, and it kind of put some clarity in the hip hop universe, especially for somebody like me, be like, yo, whatever happened with that? You know what I mean? Because I never really dug into it past the whole, I know that I'll eat him like candy and Trey Little on Malcolm X song, diss him and shit like that. So yeah, that's really what I got on that one, man. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe. We'll be back with some more, man. That's just the Eminem hip hop conversation. I just like to hear that little thing, man. So we'll be back with some more, dog. I'm out. Peace. Did y'all get a little education today on some Nelly versus Eminem? Did y'all get a little education? Did y'all get taught today? Was I able to teach y'all? Can I teach y'all a little bit today with that? Was it possible? Hustler's Ambition by 50 Cent? Absolutely. Who hasn't heard that song? Who in here has not heard it?